What is up, gamers? The Red Dragon here, talking about the top stories of the day. So I've got a pretty entertaining story for you concerning a real-life GTA mission that doesn't go according to plan. So before we get into that, I'm going to, I guess, tell you what you're watching here. This is my own GTA mission that didn't originally start out going as planned. So the story that I'm about to tell you, I was actually going to try to get some gameplay footage where I went and stole a cop car, and I drove around forever looking for a cop car that I could steal, and I couldn't find one. So anyway, I got off because I got distracted, of course. I started getting in a boat and started doing all kinds of other things. Eventually, I get to a situation where I'll eventually run into the cops. It's just granted that in GTA, you're eventually going to do something that will bring the cops. So anyway, that's what is going on in the gameplay. So, the story that I've got for you. So, did you go to a midnight release for GTA 5? If you didn't, that's okay. You don't have to have went to understand what I'm about to tell you. If you've ever been to a midnight release at a GameStop or something like that, you'll know that sometimes, especially in bigger cities, lines can go for a long ways, and you can be in line for a very long time just to get a game right at midnight. Well, there were 3 people in New York who decided that they had a plan, that they were going to get their game at midnight, but without having to wait in line the whole entire time. So what these 3 guys decided to do was they were going to impersonate police officers. So they drove to the mall in a car that they had purchased from a police auction. So they had a replica of a police unmarked car that had lights and sirens installed in it. They also were dressed up in police uniforms. One of the guys was an auxiliary police officer, so he had his uniform. The other one was the son of a retired officer. So what they did was they pulled up to the mall in this police car. They got out, they walked in the mall, flashed their badges, got to the front of the line. They said the GameStop manager was talking to them and telling them, you know, thank you for coming and giving us added security. One of the mall cops who was there offered them coffee and was, you know, being very courteous to them because everybody believed that they were indeed cops. So apparently, whenever the time rolled around, they asked if they could go ahead and buy the game. So they've cut line by impersonating police officers just to get this game early. So they actually get the game. The manager sells them the game. They walk out, they get back in the car, and it appears that everything went according to plan. They've got the game in their hand. They didn't have to wait in line. They're in the car. They're on the way home. Well, on the way home, they make a U-turn, and it just so happens they made a U-turn in front of a real unmarked police officer who then followed them home and then later arrested them. So these 3 guys are now facing a second-degree criminal impersonation count, which is punishable with up to a year in jail. So they got their game. They made it almost home. They were apparently right in front of the house, and it turns out they did not get to play GTA 5 apparently at release, and that is why you don't cut line. And if you do impersonate a police officer or at least steal a cop car, be sure you take a selfie and have a nice little landscape in the background. That does it for me, The Red Dragon. If you want the latest news and details, links are in the description box to this story, as well as VGMVideoGamesandNews.com, and also all my social links, my Twitter, Facebook, Google+, all that other good stuff. Stay tuned for more GTA 5. That does it for me, The Red Dragon. Thanks for watching.